Hi, I'm Colton with Porsche Center Calgary, and here today with another beautiful piece of pre-owned inventory. This one is a 2020 Taycan Turbo. So a little bit briefly about the Taycan in general before we dive into this one. This is a 2020, so that's the first year for the Taycan, which is Porsche's first all-electric sedan. Very, very exciting product for us when it came out, and it continues to be. It's been a huge success. We've been selling a ton of them, and it really points the way to the future. We'll see a whole lot more electrification coming over the next few years. We've had hybrids for quite a while, but as I mentioned, this is the first fully electric, but we'll see some other models definitely coming down the pipeline, probably sooner than later. Now this one, as I mentioned, is the Taycan Turbo. So that means 670 horsepower, which is just wild. Good for about 2.5 seconds to get from 0 to 60 miles an hour, which is insane and quite a singular experience if you haven't done that before. It's a very, very, very cool thing. The Taycan is very much a Porsche first and an electric car second. It feels, when they first came in, I was shocked just how familiar everything was, compared to the rest of our lineup. It's almost like it just, happens to be powered by electricity, but it's a Porsche through and through. So if you haven't tried one out, give us a call and come down and take one for a test drive. We'll always have some kind of a Taycan demonstrator available for you to check out. They're quite impressive things, but let's talk about this guy in particular. So starting with the outside and the color, this is jet black metallic, probably our #1 most popular color overall. These wheels are a 21-inch exclusive design wheel, painted also in jet black metallic. So there's several different finishes you could put on those wheels. The standard, which is kind of a silver finish, you could make that more of a dark gray, or you could paint a gloss black, but here we opted to go with the jet black metallic, just so that it's the exact same black as the paint of the car, which looks great, at least in my personal opinion. Hopefully you share that opinion too. And then also looking at the wheel, a significant thing about the turbos is that they come standard with the Porsche surface coated brakes, which give you a much larger caliper, higher performing brake, but significantly also no brake dust. So very, very low maintenance to live with. It's a pretty cool technology and fairly new to us. The first car it was available on was the 2019 model year Cayenne. So pretty cool thing. Other stuff outside, you may notice a couple of round sensors on the front of the car. Those are for the adaptive cruise control. So regular cruise they'll all have, but the adaptive cruise lets you set your following distance from the car in front of you, and then if that car slows down, this one will automatically maintain that gap that you've set. So it makes highway driving a little bit more comfortable. Moving to the inside of this one, as a turbo, it's standard with the full leather interior. So if you look at a 4S, some of them may have leather on the seats, but not leather everywhere else, unless it was optioned. All the turbos will have that. So your dashboard, upper, lower, your doors, armrests, everything is fully leather wrapped in a very high quality, smooth finish leather. I love a leather interior. It makes it feel that much more premium and just smells better, feels better. It's great. Other stuff inside, I guess I should reference my list here, I don't want to miss anything. One more touch on the outside was the gloss window trim. Standard would have been silver, but I think while some people may like that contrast, I think just the kind of fluidity of all the black works a little bit better with this one. But other stuff inside I wanted to talk about. So of course, black full leather, and then this one has the carbon fiber trim. So there's a few spots on the doors, a little bit in the dash, and even in the center console where they've added some carbon fiber on there, make it feel a little bit sportier, and frankly a little bit more complete. You can go without any trim, but I think if you add it, it just looks better and again more complete. So nice to see the carbon on this one. And then Sport Chrono package as well, optional, but that's what allows you to maximize those acceleration times. I mentioned the 2.5 seconds, 0 to 60. You need the Sport Chrono and the launch control that you get with it to do that. You also then get extra drive modes. You get a Sport Plus mode in addition to just the regular Sport mode. You get the Sport Response button on the steering wheel, which is kind of like a push to pass button. Some pretty neat stuff with that Sport Chrono package. So nice to see it optioned on here. What else did I want to talk about on it there? The electric sport sound is what I want to talk about on kind of as an augmentation to that. Because with our other cars, you'll get sport exhaust, right, with the gas-powered cars. With the Taycan, it doesn't have any exhaust, so it's a little bit different. What they do is kind of amplify the natural electric sounds that the I want to say engine, but I guess it is a motor, the electric sounds that it makes, and it's a really high-tech kind of whizzes and burrs and stuff, and it's pretty neat. A lot of us, when we first heard about it, thought it would just be kind of silly and unnecessary, but it really does amplify that driving experience, makes it a little bit more exciting and frankly more familiar. It can be a little bit eerie going just so fast and not having any real noise to accompany it with these electric cars. That electric sport sound makes it feel a little bit more familiar and a little bit more sporty and fun. It is worth checking out for sure. Other content in there, we had the advanced 4-zone climate control, as Porsche calls it. What that means is you have an extra screen in the back, basically, where you control all of your climate. So the two kind of sides in the back have independent climate zones, just like the two front passengers do, and quite a bit of adaptability and neat stuff you can play around with in there. This one also has the passenger display, which adds another screen in front of the passenger seat. So you have already, I guess you'd have 3 kind of screens as standard, being your instrument cluster, your main Porsche communication management system, the primary screen in the middle of the car, and then below that in the center console you have a screen to control a bunch of different things. They'll all have those 3. This one added the screen in front of the passenger, as well as the screen for the climate control in the back. So about as high-tech as you can make the car, which is cool to see. And then of course the premium package, I always caution people that can mean different things in different model years, so make sure you're fully aware of what is included in that package in the car you're looking at. In this model year, it gave you a seat upgrade, so you could go to the 14 or the 18-way seat. In this case, it's the 18-way, so it's the most heavily bolstered seat and most adjustable, so you can kind of tuck in or out the bolsters on the seat base as well as the seat back. You get a little bit more shoulder support with the 18-way seat. Probably my favorite seat. It fits quite nicely. Some people might find it tougher to get in and out of because of those big bolsters, but I find more of an issue with that on the SUVs, less so on the cars. You don't have to climb so much up into it. It's pretty much straight across in this car, so not so much of an issue there. Those seats will also be heated and ventilated significantly. You also got the surround view camera, so not just the rear view, but a camera on the front, one underneath each side mirror. It stitches all those images together. You get the top-down view, makes the car super easy to park. Once you're used to that perspective, it works super well. It's a feature I really love. And then the insulated glass as well is part of that package, which you don't see so often. And that gives you a 2-pane glass on the windows, so it keeps the heat, out in the summer, in the winter. When you roll the window down, you can physically feel over the top. There's 2 pieces of glass there. If you're sensitive to road noise, it makes a huge difference. And that is one thing with the electric cars that people don't always appreciate when they haven't driven them. When you do drive it, you're used to being in a gas engine vehicle where there's all of this kind of mechanical noise that's happening and your brain more or less tunes it out, or you don't pay attention to it because it's just constant. With the electric cars, you don't have that, so all of a sudden you can hear a little bit more of what's kind of going on in the world around you that you just wouldn't notice because the other sounds are there kind of overpowering that stuff. So these cars are always super quiet, but with the insulated glass even more so. It makes for when you want it to be a really, really peaceful driving experience, which is pretty cool. And then lane change assist, of course, blind spot warning. That's part of the package too. So this one has that. It'll also have the full matrix LED headlights, which are pretty neat and look especially cool, I think, on the Taycan. They'll allow you to leave your high beams on, and if a car comes the other way, it'll turn off only the specific LEDs affecting that car. So most of your field of vision has the full high beam illumination, but you'll have just kind of a dark spot as the headlights of that other car come through. So pretty cool stuff. Definitely handy for dark late night driving. Content-wise, I think that's about it I wanted to talk about. I'm sure there's some other stuff I've forgotten. A whole lot of content in these worth talking about. But I should mention, mileage on this one is about 7,000 kilometers, and it is a Porsche approved certified pre-owned vehicle. So that means quite a bit of extra warranty. The brand new warranty would have been 4 years or 80,000 kilometers. That gets bumped up to 6 years and unlimited kilometers. So this one came to us pretty late in 2020. In fact, it was registered at the very beginning of 2021. So that means it'll have warranty until January of 2027 and unlimited kilometers. So some great peace of mind there, which you can either extend if you're going to keep the car even longer and you're concerned about that, or if you decide to sell it before that warranty is up, it transfers to the next owner too. So always a good value regardless of what you decide to do with it next. So pretty cool stuff. If you're interested, if you want to come down and pay us a visit, please do, or give us a call. We're happy to answer any more questions you might have. And then once we're done with it here, I'll be bringing it upstairs and putting it in the showroom, so it'll be on display there for you to come and see in person. Thanks so much for watching.